Building cities of the future will not only require leveraging technology, but also designing spaces that are flexible enough to cater for different uses and scenarios. Second Minister for National Development Indranee Rajah says this is particularly important in a post-pandemic world to allow Singapore to emerge stronger. Michelle Teo with this report.
These pipes carry chilled water from rooftop tanks down to the lower floors and into aircon units to bring down temperatures. This centralized cooling system reduces the energy consumption for air conditioning units. This is how Singapore is integrating technology into its spaces, and it's not just for physical buildings alone.
Embedding a technology in the tracks to check on maintenance so that you know whether something is working, whether it's not working as it should, getting the early warning signals, using smart technology to enable buildings. It ranges across a a lot of things, right?
It's innovative tools like these that will help to prepare Singapore for an increasingly sustainable and digitalized future. And that also includes designing buildings and infrastructure to make working and living spaces more flexible.
Now that we're post-pandemic, we're slowly transiting into an endemic living. What are some of the paradigm shifts that are needed in cities to help us through post-pandemic?
HDB had talked about that in terms of HDB design. So HDB flats of the future, should we really have so many walls and partitions? Would it not be better to have a bit more open space where you can put in movable walls or flexible walls? Then people can have just one big flat if they want, or smaller flats with smaller rooms.
For instance, with more people working from home, companies can consider reducing their office spaces or make them more modular to accommodate different functions. These new ways of working are also driving changes in Singapore's urban planning.
Not everybody found it conducive to work at home because there were children, there were other family members who needed that space at home. So having working spaces in the heartlands or near homes, not quite in the office, not quite in the CBD, but where you put them in precincts near to your homes is something, again, that we're looking at.
Along with designing sustainable infrastructure, Singapore is also looking to retrofit existing developments and turn them into greener buildings. These projects will require funding, which Ms. Indranee says governments and financial institutions are happy to participate in. But the lack of a common point of reference and proper sustainability metrics remains a problem.
You don't want a scenario where somebody thinks this regulation means one thing, whereas somebody else thinks it means another, and then they both say that we're compliant. So making sure that you have consistent standards, making sure that the right KPIs, the right targets.
This is where Singapore, as a financial hub, can provide a common taxonomy to drive funding into green projects in the region. Projects like the one on Pulau Semakau to develop solar farms and explore applications of alternative energy sources.
Singapore is a great place to testbed ideas. Being here in the middle of Asia, where we're a hub for many things, it enables us to bring stakeholders together and to try out new things. This requires partnership between Singapore and partners in the region. So regional grids is an idea very well worth exploring and something that Singapore is well positioned to do.
This year's World City Summit is the first physical one to be held since 2018. It'll provide a platform for policymakers and industry leaders to exchange ideas to build sustainable and inclusive cities of the future.